Welcome to Straight Talk on Retirement, your no-hype source for financial advice and making informed choices about your retirement planning. Get on the phone to talk today at 969-KTRS.
The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Private Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Private Advisor Group and JBL Financial Services, Inc. are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Now, here are your retirement coaches, Jeff and Aaron Lapidus.
Well, hello, St. Louis, and welcome to Straight Talk on Retirement. You're live and local, St. Louis's favorite and longest-running financial calling show. I'm Jeff Lapidus, president of JBL Financial Services. Our offices are located in beautiful, sunny, increasingly hot downtown Olivet, Missouri. I'm a 40-plus year veteran of the financial services area, a fee-based financial planner and wealth manager. And I'm joined this week and every single week, fortunately, by my favorite, oldest, prodigal daughter, Aaron Lapidus, who also is a fee-based financial planner and wealth manager.
And we help our clients make smart choices about their money. The way we do that is by designing a game plan, a written step-by-step strategy, a real game plan that has several goals in mind.
First is to preserve, protect, and prudently grow the assets our clients have taken their entire lifetimes to accumulate. Second is to deliver a reliable stream of income, one that they can count on so they can do all the things they'd like to do during retirement.
And third is cost-effectively addressing their healthcare needs, like helping individuals enroll in Medicare and choosing the right plan to supplement their medical coverage.
And then when they're done enjoying their assets during their lifetime, we show them how to pass them on to the people they love, whether it's their spouses or children, grandchildren, churches, or charities, whoever it might be, with Uncle Sam or the tax courts taking a big bite out of their money. And as their wealth managers, Aaron and I watch their money every single day to make sure they're staying on track. And that's why they call us the retirement coaches. Good morning, babe.
Good morning.
You know, talk about watching your money every day to keep you on track. Boy, was this a fun week or what?
It was an exciting week.
Oh, my God. Monday was OMG day, right?
Yes.
Markets
indeed.
turbulently fell, I don't even remember, 700 to 800 points, something like that, which seems like really a lot.
It's only...
And it was. But... And then slowly over the week, good earnings, consumer confidence continued to grow and grow and grow. And we hit new market highs yesterday.
Yes.
Which was awesome.
It was a nice way to end the week.
It's fun watching people's money grow. You know, that's one of the good things, you know, protecting, preserving, and prudently growing their assets so that when they need it for whether it's emergencies, for income purposes, for contingencies, whatever it might be, they're in a position where they can have it. It can be liquid. It can be there for them, and they can reach their long-term as well as short-term and intermediate goals.
All their goals.
It's fun to do that. And just as a reminder for those new listeners, all of our clients, they're folks like you. They're over 55. They would like to retire, or they're already retirement. And as Aaron mentioned, we create a game plan for them.
They are retirement.
I'm sorry? Did I skip a word in the middle? Okay. Or they're already retired.
Exactly.
And as Aaron mentioned, again, we create a game plan for them so they have a goal of having a fun, financially successful. You know, if they don't have fun, it's their problem.
They should be having fun.
Absolutely. Talking about
no
planning,
work, all play.
And planning, helping folks plan for that moment. When they're stepping away, or helping them plan to eliminate debt that might be on their mind so that they can make their retirement more successful, or even, frankly, make it happen. For me, there's nothing more meaningful. I just love that. You know, at the end of the day, and again, everybody has a different relationship with their if they have a financial advisor. You know, what we like to say is, thank you for letting us get in the back seat.
You know what it really reminds you of? Those home improvement shows where they have the big reveal of all the remodeling done at the end, which is like the people participated the whole time. You know, the homeowners, they picked out the flooring and where they were going to move the walls and everything like that. And that's kind of like people planning for their own retirement. They're saving all of this time. They know they're doing that. They're watching their 401ks grow, or they're seeing if they have a pension, what that number looks like. And then all of a sudden we get to be there for this big reveal moment where, hey, all that work you put in, look at what you've done here. And it's kind of cool to be able to watch that more than once a week, usually.
Being invited on the journey is fulfilling for us. And what we try to do is put our clients in a position where they can be confident.
Yeah.
They have a game plan. We review with them often.
Absolutely. At least 2 times a year.
And then they tune into us usually every week on the air, which is kind of fun to get another touch. But it's just a blast. So we want to say to those folks, thank you. Thanks for letting us join you on the ride. It is a blast. And so we do have several topics that we'd like to discuss this morning. As I like to say, we always have a lot of things on our mind. What's more important is what's on yours. We're live, we're local. We'd love to hear from you. 931-5877, star 5877 from your cell phones, or 84126 from text line. And it's funny is that I know like my golf buddies are listening. And they're always,
it's too hot to be golfing right now?
Well, no, it's interesting. Saturday mornings, they play during the week. And so Saturday they leave that for the kids and whatever. But they're in their offices. They're doing stuff. Mm-hmm. They're threatening to call. Show up, baby. Bring your game. We'd love to hear from you. As well as all the other listeners at 931-5877, star 5877 from your cell phones, or 84126 for the text line. While we are waiting, for those of you that aren't playing golf with me during the week, there are ways that you can keep in touch with Aaron and I.
That's right. Log onto our website, jblfinancial.com. In the upper right-hand corner, you can click on Contact Us. If you have a question, if you'd like to request a coaching session, you have a comment, we'll be sure to be able to get back to you within about 24 hours. Or you can click in the lower left-hand side of the screen in the pop-up box that appears that says Sign Up. That's our monthly newsletter. We send it out by email to you every single month. We call it the Coach's Corner.
Aaron and her staff do keep the last 6 to 8 months of those archived for your viewing, printing, or downloading convenience.
Or if you'd like to stay in constant contact with us. Constant contact. We do have a Facebook, JBL Financial, or a Twitter that you're welcome to follow, also JBL Financial. Try and post things that aren't necessarily just financial related, but some things that are going on around the St. Louis metro area, and maybe tips and tricks for retirement.
And I can tell you my daughter, Speedy Gonzalez, will be replying to those texts.
Or emails.
I've been banned.
Well, the listeners want responses.
Okay. All right. I don't even have a comeback line for that yet this morning. But I was prepared. I will be thinking about it.
Nice.
As it was. Well, good. So we're waiting for your phone calls again at 931-5877, star 5877 from your cell phones, or 84126 from the ever-popular text line. Let's talk about Sam and Susan.
Okay.
Sam and Susan, they've been clients of ours for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. And one of the questions that we receive from them, as well as from many other folks out there, is about cash. They mentioned they've got about $100,000 in cash in excess of their vault. That's sitting there earning no money.
In excess of their vault. So what would we consider a vault?
Well, whatever they consider in their particular case. I mean, in their particular case, they said that they wanted $50,000 to be set aside, which they already had, but this extra money was money that had come out of CDs. They're earning. We now call those certificates of depression.
Not earning very much.
No, exactly. It's depressing. And so the question was, what do we do? How much cash is too much cash?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, first we should say that, one of the most important things to have on hand is cash. Some people like to say cash is king. So there's nothing wrong with accumulating some cash, but it's important to decide what the function of that cash is to be.
And cash also does hold a function in portfolio management.
Absolutely. It's part of a well-diversified portfolio.
Yes. So some of the things that we think cash serves for is, number one, is always liquidity for emergencies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Liquid capital for consumption purposes. Liquid capital for many people for investing, also portfolio balance, and in many cases, it's also just peace of mind, right?
Sure.
So cash is really multifunctional. And in a moderate portfolio, 3 to 5% is considered prudent. So what we're talking about is 3 to 5%, that's just part of your portfolio, so we don't count that.
Right, that's not part of your vault.
Then if we are putting some money aside as a vault, we call it the vault.
Right, or it's also referred to as emergency fund.
We call it the vault, it's more fun.
Which is liquid cash.
Exactly. What do you think?
We generally say 3 to 6 months is what's prudent in terms of having cash on hand. But that is really that's really just the baseline, because many people, you have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, but you have a big trip coming up, or you're doing some remodeling, or that there's another need for excess cash. So in many cases, 3 to 6 months is that baseline that you want to maintain. And then oftentimes it fluctuates above that.
Right. And when it dips below, you want to fill that bucket back up.
Exactly.
That's very
Or you want to figure out why it dipped below. Is it a new lifestyle change and that it's going to be, you're now in negative cash flow? Or was it a one-time event where, hey, you need a little extra cash?
And I don't want folks to get the feeling that we're talking around this, because we're really not. Because at the end of the day, the one question that we ask folks is, if you were asleep, you had a bad dream about money, whatever it would be, and you woke up. Now, of course, if you were my age, you would have run to your checkbook or went to your savings book to see what was in there. Today, you run to your computer screen.
Right. Or you just grab your phone while you're laying in bed.
And there's a number in your mind. And what happens is, if you look at your screen or your book and you go, hey, it's below this number, or it's above this number, if it's above the number,
maybe you'll be able to go back to sleep.
And if not,
well, then we need to raise it.
That's right. We need to fill that bucket back up. So everybody's number is different.
Sure.
And what I would also say is, from my experience, and I'm saying experience because I've lived
many years.
Yes, many decades. Not centuries.
More than half a century.
Yeah, more than half a century. Is that as our clients grow up, get older, the desire for cash also rises.
Sure.
When you're 20s, you're invincible, and therefore having cash is nice, but you don't care. Right. When you get into your 50s, 60s, having a reserve fund to deal with, if you want to call it, uneasiness over market fluctuations, or being able to enable other people, having large amounts of cash, it just continues to grow.
Well, also, as you get older, your net worth begins to rise. So if you're considering cash on hand as a proportion of your net worth, that's obviously going to continue to rise too.
Right. So everybody's vault has a different size and shape. That's important to know. And there are obviously multiple types of savings vehicles that you can use and be involved in to do that. What's important, though, is to really determine, in our minds, it is to say, hey, this is how much I really need of cash. If Johnny called and said, oh my God,
I really
Mom
need
and Dad,
X.
I need help. And we always recommend you keep that in a commercial bank or credit union.
And also fully liquid.
Yes.
That means when you go to the bank, you can have it without any penalties, any early withdrawal issues, any fees.
That's good. So in our particular client's case here, Sam and Susan, if they didn't have a vault and we established that 50,000, we'll say, was their vault, well, we would say 50,000 or 50 of the 100. Half should be in a money market. The other half could be in maybe CDs, like rotating.
Rolling CDs where they come due every CDs. 6 months, every year, and they just continue to mature and reinvest. So that way, if for whatever reason, 6 months, 1 year down the line, you needed, instead of 50, 60,000, you'd have access to one of those CDs coming due relatively soon.
Unfortunately, interest rates are not going up planned soon. We know that.
Yes, the savers continue to be punished.
Yeah, so we feel bad for you. And at the same time, the answer is it's good to have cash. Cash is king. So Sam and Susan, we hope that answered your question. And for those folks that are out there listening, you say, hey, if your cup is running over with cash, there are other things you can invest in, obviously. Liquidity is one issue, but also, maybe more importantly, again, as we talked about, is timing.
Sure. How
soon will you need this money in the future? How soon will you need it? And what prudent financial managers would tell you is that any cash that you need within a 12-month period should not be invested in the market.
Right. Short-term obligations shouldn't be met with long-term risk. Is that the...
Very good.
So we have a couple of text questions.
May I? Woohoo!
First, a friend of mine, asking for a friend, is 66 and at full retirement age. They filed to start collecting Social Security and received an email from Social Security to call them.
Yeah, right.
That happens. If you apply online, you put your email address in, you can receive emails from Social Security. However, they request that you call them, so then you know that you are calling into Social Security versus receiving a phone call. But on the flip side of that, if Social Security does phone you, they are required to give you a number that you can call back into, so you can verify that was in fact Social Security that called you, to avoid
Scamology 101. Okay.
Exactly.
Very good.
So a friend, 66, full retirement age, called, start collecting Social Security. When he called, they told him he would get $2,900 a month.
Gotcha.
Then proceeded to say the second option is that Social Security pays $140 less per month, and you give up any and all future COLAs. In return, they would send you a check for $20,000 right now, plus you'll still get the $2,760 per month going forward. Is this a scam of some sort? You anticipated that.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's a scam, but this is a question that we really cannot answer without knowing the texter's friend and their financial situation. So Social Security does have options in which you can really receive lump sums. However, now you've not only decreased your monthly amount, but you've decreased your opportunity for COLAs in the future. And I believe I heard the next COLA is like 5%.
Right. So if you had done that,
right. But on the other hand, if this individual really needed cash up front right now for whatever potential reason, and their cash flow game plan work with the $2,760 per month. But then on the other side of that is, if you're
sounds like social insecurity,
right? Because if you're looking for, most people are concerned about having an inflation adjusted income. Part of having an inflation adjusted income is being able to receive those COLAs, even if it's pension or Social Security, because that helps keep up with the rate of inflation. If you're going to forever give up your adjustment, that means you have to make up the difference other places, either from your investments or if you had other fixed income sources coming in. So,
or you got to adjust your spending,
right?
Which nobody wants to do.
Exactly. So, I would say not a scam, but definitely something that you should very seriously consider before just grabbing at the cash.
Yeah, I would say if you were, as you had said, honey, if $20,000 is needed to make your life work, then you need to take the money. If it isn't, it's crazy to give up all the potential opportunities.
Right, because yes, we have had
those COLAs aren't just for 1 year; they're forever.
Correct, and I mean we have had years, especially during the Obama administration, where we went more than 1 year without a COLA. But the reason that those COLAs did not come into play is because the government determined that the rate of inflation was not high enough to necessitate an increase. But as we see inflation rise, we now just saw a COLA adjustment for Social Security. So the system isn't perfect, but it does attempt to, benefit you in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, understanding your financial plan and your cash flow needs is really one of the key aspects to consider making this decision.
Here's a question.
Question number 2. Is this for me or is this for you again?
I think you'll like this question.
Okay.
Good morning. What is your opinion of income annuities and using a portion of money from your portfolio reserved for bonds to purchase the annuity? So basically, transitioning a fixed
Honey, do me a favor before you start.
Yes.
Give us the annuity disclosure. So we're allowed to say something.
Yes. Okay, so
we have to, by the way, folks, anytime we have a discussion about really financial products, we're supposed to disclaim that
there are a variety of different types of annuity products. So unfortunately, just based on the texter letting us know is an income annuity does not really tell us what type of vehicle it is. You really need to consult with a financial professional before you make a determination as to if an annuity is a good option for you, and then also what type of annuity might be a good option for you.
Well, let's just make a couple of assumptions here.
Okay.
Okay, number one is we know that people, when they're thinking about annuities, are thinking about income streams. A fixed income annuity would be one where we're giving a fixed income stream either for a fixed period of time or for somebody's life.
Right.
Now, the big deal here with these, well, there's a couple of big deals, right, with these contracts, and let me outline a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, when we consider what's called an immediate annuity, which means is that you're transferring a lump sum to an insurance company in exchange for that income flow, which will
begin immediately
for a period of years or for your life, you're giving the capital away. Okay? So and this is, again, really the same type of a mental math you have to go through when you're considering taking either an income stream, an annuity from a pension plan versus taking a lump sum. So
also, we have to just make the additional disclaimer that the income stream is guaranteed based on the viability of the insurance company that's providing it. So there is a degree, although relatively small, of risk that of default of the insurance company not being able to meet their obligations. Yeah,
and I think it's fair to say, and to be honest here, is that there's never been a United States U.S. insurer that ever went default.
Without someone else purchasing them.
Right, for more than 30 seconds. So you've got a fixed income stream. When you go to a fixed income stream, you also don't have one that's inflation adjusted. It'll be for a fixed period of time, et cetera.
Right.
Whether it's a good deal or not is another matter. I would say that in general, the reason that we consider creating fixed income streams, either using annuity or not, is because what we're trying to do is to add another stable base of income above the other client's
Social
sources.
Security,
Social
most
Securities,
likely.
pensions, rental income, whatever it would be. The client feels comfortable and desires to add that income stream to take out, let's say, some of the uncertainty or hesitancy or whatever you might call volatility that occurs in the market, and so that they can have this income stream that they feel is reasonably secure. And I don't want to use the word worry-free because you worry about everything, but it's secure from risk. I mean, that was where we were going with this, right?
Well, also, I guess we should also speak to the fact that if you are, I think they're looking at changing their fixed income positions from bonds to an annuity.
And can an annuity take that place?
Yeah.
And I would say that in general, a fixed annuity certainly could. What do you give up when you give up your bonds? Well, number one is we know bonds are priced every moment of every day the markets are open.
Right.
Just like others, just like stocks.
Just like stocks.
So if interest rates do begin to rise, what happens is that you can see your account values, those face value of those bonds, start going down.
Right.
If you were to sell them, you could potentially have a loss.
Right.
Your coupon becomes
less valuable.
Less valuable. If you're using a fixed annuity, what happens is, the insurance company is saying to you, they're pledging that they're going to maintain your principal without loss. You're getting typically an interest income on top of that, which could be multiple ways, either 1 year or, fixed, whatever period of time.
Depending upon the contract that
But you also have, you don't have principal risk, but the truth is you have interest rate risk. If interest rates go up, you protected yourself by your account value is not going down on the bond side because you don't have bonds.
Right.
The coupon, but on the other side, right, what happens is
you're missing the opportunity to get a higher interest rate because just like stocks, as bonds trade throughout the day, if you have a lower coupon than someone else, you are selling yours at a discount, whereas they might get a premium. Well, you have the opportunity to make a decision. Hey, I no longer want this discounted bond. I want to buy a more expensive one and earn a higher coupon. With annuities, you create liquidity restrictions for yourself. So as interest rates rise, you can't say you'll have a restriction on when you can say, I no longer want this annuity. I want a different one that's offering a higher fixed rate.
So I think that I could make a couple of statements that may not get us in trouble.
Well, at least you've given them the opportunity to really listen in.
Right. We're talking about the regulators that listen to every one of our shows. Insurance companies, in many cases, through annuities that aren't fixed ones, variable annuities, can offer what we call or a thing called living benefits. And basically what these are principal protection elements, guaranteed minimum interest bonuses each year in these contracts. How do we use these when we use these? Because we don't use them every time, but we use them a lot.
Right.
I mean, I think that's fair to say. In my mind, the decision to purchase an annuity really comes for two reasons. Number one is that I want to grow it. I want to
at a guaranteed rate based on the contract,
using the bonus rates of one of these annuities, and generally now they can run 5-6%, or have them growing, again, income tax deferred, or income tax deferred if they're inside an IRA, with the game plan of then turning them into a income stream sometime in the future. So if this is a strategy that makes sense for you, having something growing income tax deferred, maybe in lieu of bonds, not a bad deal, and then cash flowing it later, then that in truth can be a good idea of why you might want to consider doing this. Now, all the product, I mean, there are multiple products that are out there. There are multiple insurance companies that sell these. But I think you really have to get down to the game plan. I mean, are you truly saying, like with our clients, we'll say, well, we're going to let this grow for 4 years. It's going to grow to a target amount. There's a withdrawal privilege in the contract for a certain percentage that will match up. Can I use a generic number?
No, you cannot. Okay. So I think that the overarching point is that all of your investment options, be it securities, bonds, annuities, CDs, all these things are tools to get us to where we want to go. So,
which is the cash flow to you to do the things you want to do.
Exactly. So is this a tool that we need in order to get you to the cash flow that you need? Really becomes the question, because unlike other investment products, many annuities, especially the ones that we were just briefly discussing, carry additional fees in order to create these guarantees for yourself.
Thank you.
So it's important to, like you said, Dad, what's a good deal? Well, nothing's a good deal. It's, does this fit into what our game plan is? So unfortunately, although we've talked around this quite a bit from the texter, we really couldn't say if in that texter's situation, is this trade-off, the bonds for an annuity, is that a good decision? We can't say.
No, I think you're right. But I think there's something that we can say in general, which we've said before. If you're looking at an immediate annuity, which is a fixed annuity, which is where you're saying to the insurance company, keep my principal and I'm going to take a payout. It's important to determine whether the deal they're offering you, the income stream, is really worth it.
Right.
Is it competitive in today's rates? And then number one. And then number two, which I think is even more important. Based on where we are in interest rate environment today, why would you want to trade it now?
Right.
I mean, when interest rates do go up, and they will eventually, who knows when?
I mean, can they go lower?
I may have grandchildren by then, God willing, but you never know.
Just slip that right in there.
Wee-hee.
Look at you.
You know, they could be 30 by the time. But anyways, nobody knows when interest rates go up. But as interest rates rise, what happens is that what the monthly income amount, that dollar amount, that dollar of annuity premium, if you want to call it, will purchase, grows. We're at the bottom of the barrel now.
Right.
When it grows, it's going to buy more monthly benefits. So does it make sense to do that? And I think the answer generally is
probably not.
Unless you need it, unless it is there to make your life work. If you need that cash flow, because with these annuity payouts, an immediate annuity, an income annuity, what you're talking about here is you're giving up every payment you receive as part principal and interest. So that's why it's gone when you're gone.
Right.
Is that good?
That is pretty good. And we have Dave on line one.
We do have Dave. Dave, welcome to the show. You got a question about early retirement and collecting Social Security or something like that? That's what Eric wrote.
Correct. Can you hear me?
We can.
Talk up a little bit if you will.
Okay. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Ern. How's your hot Saturday doing?
We're in a cool studio, so we're chilling. We're chilling.
Okay. Good for you. Good for you guys. I've been listening to you guys actually for quite a long time, and just now over my head. Okay. Long story short, I just got laid off about 6 weeks ago. I am only 59 and a half in 6 days. My question is, as far as Social Security at 62, pros, cons. You know, my wife makes okay money as far as retiring now. Okay? That's kind of where I'm going with this. Can you give me a little, like I said, pros and cons as far as taking early Social Security? Is it good, bad? I'm sure it's bad. I understand. I lose a lot.
Well, Dave, let me ask you a question here to start, because Aaron's going to take over this question. But how does the income that needs to be replaced
that I was making?
Yes.
How much of that needs to be replaced, and how does that compare to your Social Security benefit?
That I 62? Don't know. That I have no idea about that number.
Do you know what your Social Security benefit was going to be at full retirement age?
Well, you got to go to SSA.gov, brother.
I am not 100% sure. No.
Well,
I think because really what we're driving at here is if you have made the decision potentially that you're not planning to go back to work, so you won't be earning any additional income when you get to 62. Does the Social Security benefit that they're offering you at 62 cover over enough of your previous paycheck to make you and your wife's life continue to work is the real question.
Right, because at 59 and a half, you're old enough now to begin distributions from your retirement plan.
So you got 2.5 years to bridge the gap in terms of income till you get to Social Security.
Which you have to do, and so... You know, the question number one is, without your income there, how much of a negative cash flow is the Dave and what's your wife's name?
Bonnie.
Okay. So the Dave and Bonnie Corporation, like if it was Clyde, it would have been more fun, but it's cool. So the Dave and Bonnie Corporation, when the income flow stops from you, how much of that has to be replaced? That's certainly something I would be looking at immediately. How does that then compare to, as Aaron was saying, your Social Security benefit 62? Is it less than that? Is it more than that? You know, we'll be in a position where, you know, we can, cash flow from your retirement accounts to get you to that point. And then can we turn the faucet down enough based on what your Social Security benefit would be to still continue to put you guys in the life that you're at? I mean, if the answer is yes, and you don't need the money from your retirement accounts anymore, well, the truth is maybe you're in a position where it ought to grow. Maybe you do wait, or obviously, by not waiting and taking a 62, you limit your earnings capabilities.
Right, because if you ever decided to go back to work between 62 and essentially 66, you can only earn about $15,000. Obviously, that increases every year. They'll do an adjustment, but you're going to limit your earning power. But the other piece of it is the majority of people do not wait until 70 to take their Social Security benefit.
Never.
And really, many people don't even wait until their full retirement age, because if you need the cash flow in order to stay out of the negative, so to speak, then it makes sense for you to take your Social Security benefit.
Absolutely. So, Dave, we're going to do our mini coaching session with you right now.
I appreciate it.
Okay. I mean, it's real simple. Get a piece of paper and a pencil. Okay. I mean, if you're computer literate enough to do this, that's kind of cool.
He's ready to go.
Then go grab your last paycheck. And we're going to assume for these purposes that you basically are getting paid twice a month, let's just say.
Correct.
Okay. So when we look at what net amount, whatever
which is
your
what
net
is dropped
paycheck
into your bank account every month.
Exactly. Multiply that by.
Let's just say $2,000.
Great.
So $4,000 a month.
Sure. After you're done with that, then you're going to ask your wife, how much of this $2,000 do we spend every month? Is there any left aside? Are we actually putting money into savings? If the answer is no, which wouldn't be
shocking at all, because you were probably saving in your retirement plan before you got your paycheck.
So we know we're going to have to basically replace that $2,000 for at least 3 years. So you hit your Social Security normal retirement age. You got to go to SSA.gov, brother.
See what your benefit is.
Find out what your benefit is. Take a look at it, and it should probably be very close to matching that number. So, doing the
retirement?
Yeah, well, yeah, at 62 retirement, at 62 it ought to be a couple grand.
Sure.
Wow, that's cool.
pretty close.
Well, that might be good. That might be good, but that might not be good enough either for you.
Right. So that's really what the math is.
Yeah. I mean, so the pre-math of that is, well, I need $2,000 a month for 12 months. It's $24,000. I need to have 3 years of that. That's approximately, what is 24 times 3 is 48. That's, and 24 is 72,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I need about 72,000 in my retirement account that I'm going to be drawing out to replace my pay for now. And then when I get to Social Security, I'm going to turn that valve on.
Right. And then turn down your income from your retirement plan.
That's right, which is kind of cool. I mean, honestly, that's really the process of faucet management, right?
Absolutely.
We're plumbers.
Something like that. We have a text question.
I hope that helps you, Dave. Thanks so much for your call.
Aaron, directed to me. Aaron, is it ever advisable to give out your new Medicare number over the phone under the guise of increasing your Social Security income? Should it be guarded like your Social Security number? You know, it's nothing like your Social Security number in that your Medicare ID number really is attached to nothing but your Medicare benefit. Congress passed that legislation a couple of years ago in order to help people stop with the rampant identity theft, since most people were walking around with their Social Security number plus a letter on their Medicare card, right? A, B, or T, depending upon your situation.
What's T?
T would be deferred. So like you didn't take your Social Security, but you have your Medicare. So
you are so smart.
Well, it's irrelevant.
You're like your mom.
Thanks. Irrelevant information to retain.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, you know it.
Right.
At least somebody does.
I also do not know in what situation providing your Medicare number would increase your Social Security benefit, or how they would be able to determine that you could have an increased Social Security benefit based on your Medicare ID number. So I would never recommend giving out personal information, even though this number, they're not going to be able to take out loans or buy mortgages with your identity if you were to give your Social Security, your Medicare ID number to someone.
Well, let's be honest here. The only people that can increase your Social Security benefit is the Social Security Administration.
Right. So I would not recommend.
So it begs the question, right? Like, hello, they don't need your Social Security number. They already know who you are.
Or they don't need your Medicare number either, because they already know who you are. Also, so does Medicare.
Warning, Will Robinson. Danger.
The only way that you could increase your Social Security benefit is by decreasing your Medicare premium. And the only way to decrease your Medicare premium is to have less income. So everyone that is not Medicaid eligible. So when you were seeing, what's that football player's name that was on TV? Joe Namath?
Yeah, Joe Willie.
That was on TV once every 2 minutes during open enrollment that says, you can have your Medicare premiums paid for you. Sure, but you also have to have no income. So if you're on Medicaid, this is a different situation. So for everyone else, you know, if your income married filing jointly is less than $175,000, your base Medicare premium is about $146 a month. You cannot get it lower than that. Now, if you happen to be someone that retired in the middle of the year, or you retired and you were a higher income earner, so you and your spouse earn more than $175,000, because Medicare Part B is income adjusted with a 2-year look back. That means they're going to look back 2 years to determine what your Medicare premium is based on your income. So 2019's income for this year. If you retired this year, your income is different. You can petition Medicare, or rather Social Security, to decrease your Medicare premium based on your new income, not your old income. It's the only way to decrease the premium.
Well, it sounds like you gave a very thorough answer to our texter.
I feel like we keep giving roundabout answers today. So the answer is probably don't do that.
No. If it doesn't feel right, definitely don't do it, because usually your instincts are
also, there's paperwork that you fill out in order to decrease your Medicare premium. In order to decrease your Medicare premium. So you can actually acquire that off of the Social Security Administration's website, ssa.gov.
Very good.
Yep.
And again, our phone lines are open. We'd love to hear from you. 931-5877, star 5877 from your cell phones, or 84126 from the previously full yet open and ready and willing and able Take You text line. What do you think, babe?
I don't think anything.
Yeah. See, I had something I could have done on there, but I just didn't.
Well,
you are welcome. Do we want to do our health shares?
Let's do it since you're dawdling here.
Smart choice about our healthcare segment, sponsored by our very good friends
Aetna and Anthem of Missouri.
Thank you for sponsoring our show.
So I received an email just a couple days ago.
That's a big surprise.
Exactly. I get a few. I had a chance to meet with Frank last week. Frank is our new health insurance coach.
There you go.
Not so new. He's been with us since March.
And you folks will be meeting him in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's right. On the air, of course.
Yes.
And maybe had a chance to meet with Frank last week regarding my Medicare options. He's so friendly and very knowledgeable. He is very friendly.
If he didn't, we beat the hell out of him.
Right.
Right? We love friendly. We're into friendly. Why wouldn't he be friendly, right? Or even friendly because...
And knowledgeable.
We've got our beautiful new building.
Yes.
World headquarters and all of that.
It's
big parking spaces, drink stations.
Multiple conference rooms. It's just great.
Exactly. It's a lot of... Everybody's having fun. And we do want to thank our clients for all the nice comments that they've had. And we also welcome you because we still have free parking, best coffee in town.
I filled out the medical questionnaire, included my physicians and prescriptions. And when I met with Frank, he recommended the Anthem Blue Cross Part G supplement and a prescription drug plan.
Sounds good.
I have been receiving information on AARP's Plan G supplement, and I remember seeing ads on TV during open enrollment for this plan. Didn't we all?
Yes.
And wonder why he did not recommend that instead.
Well, there's got to be a reason.
There is a reason. But first, really nice that you had a good chat with Frank. First thing I would say is all of the supplements are federally standardized. So that means all of the benefits that are required under Medicare, so all of your Medicare covered expenses are required to be the same.
Yes.
So Plan G in Missouri from Anthem is identical to Plan G from Kaiser in California.
Or any other Plan G that's offered in the state of
Missouri
or Illinois.
Exactly. Anywhere across the country, all of the plans are the same. The difference is usually price. Price is determined by your community, so where you live, and your age, and your sex. So everyone's premium is slightly different, just depending upon where they live, how old they are, and male or female. However, Anthem in Missouri happens to offer not only some of the lowest rates, which if we're comparing identical options, why don't we go with the lowest price? But also they offer some extra benefits. So insurance companies are required to provide a minimum benefit, which is what Medicare requires and what the federal government has standardized your supplement, because there are more supplements than just Plan G to require. They're also able to offer more if they want to. Anthem happens to offer Silver Sneakers at no additional charge to its enrollees. Silver Sneakers is the free gym membership.
I like that.
Right? So if we consider the fact that Anthem already has a relatively low premium in comparison to the other options in the area, they're an A+ rated insurance company, one of the largest in the world, and they're also going to offer you what could equate to anywhere between a $10 to $30 benefit, depending upon what gym you would choose to go to. You can reduce that premium by whatever your gym membership cost is. That lowers the cost even more for you.
Woohoo!
So in our minds, if we can get the same thing for a lower cost and also get you a slightly better benefit, why wouldn't we do that? And that's really the decision that we come to after we've determined, just like this emailer mentioned, we received your questionnaire that had your physicians and your prescriptions and determined that the supplement over a Medicare Advantage was the way to go. Then it becomes, well, what's the best supplement option and what's the best company to provide that to us, just like your prescription drug plan.
I mean, I think the nice thing, I hope folks realize that in this case, we're like Baskin Robbins. All the flavors are the same price. We just scoop.
Yes. Oh, another text question.
You like that one?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Another one directed at me. Aaron helped us figure out what Medicare and supplement insurance.
I think you've got this line rigged.
Yes, with like ever.
And I don't like it. I mean, people like to talk to me.
Do they?
Well, that's what they told me when they were talking to me before.
Well,
you took over the text line, and now I can't talk to anyone.
Obviously, I just
and
have
my emails. I'm held hostage.
Held hostage.
Free me, folks.
Do you think? Okay,
deluge Aaron with emails saying we want Dad to look at
this gentleman over here is complaining that he has less work to do. That's really what it comes down to.
No.
Yeah, that's the complaint that is being lodged at this moment.
I just like to be able to see the loop. I'm not going out to pasture. I don't care.
I know.
You know, it's funny because at
our
new office, it's so fun. So we just built a patio.
Right, so that's where you go out. Oh, you're going to the pasture now?
Yeah, exactly. It's my patio. I'm just going to sit out front and watch the traffic go by.
That's what you were doing on Friday.
Yes, I was.
I had multiple meetings. You just hanging out front.
Well,
can we get back to this text? Aaron helped us figure out what Medicare and supplement insurance my husband should take.
Yeah, right. With the other 3,000 people in Missouri. Yeah, right.
Getting loopy over there. But
okay.
My husband, so we helped him find a supplement.
Beautiful.
And enroll in Medicare before he retired into October. Does he have to do something this year again? Well, here's the great news with Medicare. You never have to do anything again for the rest of your life if you don't want to. All of your policies are going to automatically renew with whatever the new benefits might be for the beginning of the year. If you have a supplement, just like we were talking about before, if it's Plan G supplement that we worked with you to secure, those benefits never change. They are the same every year. The Medicare Part B the Medicare Part B deductible, which is the only obligation that you have under a Plan G supplement in terms of out-of-pocket expense, may change. Congress sets that annually, so we've seen it go from $185 to $190 over the last couple of years. That's the only thing that might change slightly. Your prescription drug plan will automatically renew to its new benefits. You may see some difference in price there, so that's something that can be compared during open enrollment in October through December. So the nice thing is your plans will automatically renew if you're happy. If you'd like a review, we offer those to everyone that we've worked with, and you have the chance to make a change if you'd like to for January 1st. But if you do nothing, your coverage, again, will just automatically renew.
Very good. I just got a text question.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. But go ahead. What was it?
Wait.
You don't even have your phone.
I was going to make it up.
Great. Let's go for it.
I'm not talking to you anymore. Welcome back to the Aaron Show in a moment. Okay. We did receive a text, not a text, but actually an email.
An email, yes.
From our and by the way, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Say thank you to the folks at Anthem as well as the ones at Aetna for sponsoring our smart choices about their healthcare statement.
Yep.
Joe and Sally, number 47. Recently sold a piece of property. It was a family. It was kind of fun for them. Is that Joe inherited part of the family farm with his two brothers, and unfortunately, nobody wanted to be Green Acres. So guess what happened? They sold it.
Based on the proceeds of the sale, sounds like it must have been Illinois farmland, not Missouri farmland.
Still, it's good for them.
Yeah.
They received $450,000 net from the sale proceeds, which is great. We've seen this a couple times.
Fabulous.
They decided that $50,000 was going to be dedicated to replenishing their vault because the vault was empty. They also decided, treat ourselves a little bit. $60,000 would be dedicated to home remodeling, which would leave $340,000 of cash available. And of course, we have the great rhetorical question of all time: should I pay off? Would they have a $200,000 mortgage balance? They were hoping to pay off within 10 years. Question is, should we do it now? Right?
Right.
Well, everybody's asked, should we do it now? As a point of information, their current mortgage payment is $1,600 per month, which includes principal and interest. It doesn't include tax and insurance.
Okay.
So doing analysis here, we knew that since we were sending them the money to cover that monthly mortgage payment, we had to increase it from $1,600 to $1,900 to deal with taxes.
Because before the sale of the property, we were sending them income from their retirement plan.
Thank you. $3,600 of tax, or $300 per month out of each distribution, was taxes. Well, in making this decision, it's a numbers game, right? It's another one of life's big algebra problems.
Right. And so here are the things that we would want to consider. the interest component of their monthly payment is pretty small because they're towards the end of their mortgage. So they're not getting a big deduction.
If they're itemized.
Even if they're able to itemize based on the fact that there's low amount of interest available.
And they're certainly killed this year because that $450,000 gain they're going to pay taxes on is going to affect their adjusted gross income. So whatever interest expense they might have been receiving, if they're itemizing, is going to be squashed.
Right. And also, did we factor in of the $450,000 how much we were going to set aside for taxes?
Nope.
Okay, that's important.
That's a big one too. So they really don't have $340,000.
Right.
But it's cool. So we would do our analysis, right?
Yeah.
Which basically says if I have a payment of $1,900 per month, which is 50 cents over a 12-month period, how much capital do I need to make that cash flow happen, assuming a 4% withdrawal rate? And that number is
$570,000.
Right. Now, the mortgage obligation is actually $200,000. So the question becomes, should we pay off the mortgage or retain the mortgage? My suggestion would be we're not doing a lump sum because they're getting killed this year.
Sure.
But we might take this over a period of years, and let's say maybe over a 2, 3, or 4 year period, maybe 5. We get rid of this puppy, right?
Sure.
Because if you think about it, folks, when you're retired, you have this income flow, but you also have capital, maybe your retirement accounts that are creating cash flow for you. Question is, how much of your capital is being held hostage, as I like to say, to make that payment? Well, in this case, it was $570,000. If we pay that mortgage off at $200,000, that should open up a fair amount of capital
to become more liquid for you.
Exactly, which could be used to support other income purposes. It could be used to deal with other things, or it could be
just fun
growth money.
That's right.
All good, right?
We do have one final text. Well, I don't know if it's the final one, but we have another text question.
For you?
Yep. It really is, though.
You're walking home.
It really is,
though. God, you better make this up.
Sure. Can you speak to
Why are you like this, you?
Why am I like this? You raised me.
I loved you.
You loved me. You loved me.
About 6 minutes ago.
Can you speak to the differences between the two Medicare plan choices, traditional Medicare with a supplement or choosing an Advantage plan?
Not in 2.5 minutes.
Well, we could do a super brief.
Okay.
So traditional Medicare with a supplement and a prescription drug plan, we like to say that's pay up front. You're going to pay a monthly premium for your supplement. It's going to essentially cover over all potential out-of-pocket expenses except for your prescriptions. So if you're someone, I don't like to compare sick versus healthy, but if you are someone that is a high-use individual, you are either not necessarily a chronic illness, but a chronic need to see the physician, or you have chronic treatments, or you have chronic things that are going on a regular basis.
You mean like grandmas?
Something like one of them maybe.
Okay.
Then you might choose the supplement because you know that you are using the plan often, so you want to be able to cover your risks by saying, insurance company, I'll pay you a monthly premium. You cover my out-of-pocket expenses.
Is it fair to say we're looking at like about around $200 a month times 12 months, about $2,400 a year?
That's exactly correct, and the premium will only go up from there as you get older, about 1 to 5% per year.
Voices?
Versus Medicare Advantage, which is pay as you go. So this is your opportunity to only pay the insurance company when you actually use services. Now, everything that's preventative is covered at no extra charge to you. So your annual visits to the doctor, your annual blood work, any flu shots, shingle shots, things like that. But you'll pay copays, most likely like you do now. It's just that you have little to no premium outside of Medicare Part B. So you have probably a zero premium policy. You're going to pay copays when you visit the doctor, co-insurance if you're admitted to the hospital, with a maximum out of pocket that can range in about the $3,000 mark, but depending upon what company and what plan you choose. So the decision really becomes, are you a high-use person and you anticipate that to go forever, or are you a relatively low-use person and you want to hedge your bets and say, I'll keep my money until the insurance company actually needs it?
Easiest way to answer those questions is to do what?
Give us a call.
Come in for a coaching session, 314-863-0008. Again, 314-863-0008, or go to the
website, jblfinancial.com.
Erin will be happy to answer your email because she keeps them away from me.
opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Private Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Private Advisor Group and JBL Financial Services, Inc. are separate entities from LPL Financial.
This is Jeff Lapidus, the Retirement Coach. We'll be back next week at 10 a.m. here on the Big 550 KTRS.